Is it me, or do the old ones just look fun? They're close. They're weird. They're so tight.
Guess they didn't move around as much.
Aloy, there are more supplies in the chest. Help yourself.
There she is.
Maniacs, lava.
I remember that.
At least I got what we need.
Good thing I got...
I was hoping you could help, and it also has to do with the...
Really? That doesn't sound...
I discovered an Osira militant group. It looks like they're the ones overriding machines for the Tenakth rebels. They're familiar with ancient tech, and they definitely have a base. A place called First Forge.
First Forge? I was back in Barren Light checking up on the Van Focus picked up on an Oseram. I thought it was strange, so when he saw me coming, he ran. Caught up with him, but there was still data on it. One of them was called First Forge.
Nice job.
Now you know me.
Did any of that data mention a woman named...
Oh, no. You remember how she was one of them? First female tinker in the... But when her family got killed in the Red... I thought she was dead, though. Taken out by one of Murad's guys.
She's not. And she won't, but I'm not gonna let it happen. Send me those coordinates, okay?
Now hold on, Aloy. Sarah's the last of a line of killers that... I need to be there when she goes...
Of course.
All right, then.
You should know. Silence isn't... He's the one who gave them the override.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
At least we know we're good at wrecking those.
Damn straight.
You look tired.
Ha! I've just been making sure that I got everything. I wouldn't want to be the usual screw-up out there.
You'll do fine. Have you spoken?
Yeah, when she's not reading the archives like a giddy kid drinking her first ale. She took to that new focus. I gotta say, I'm a little jealous. But I can see why you...
I should get...
As soon as you want us...
I'll give you the...
From the look on your face...
I got Omega clearance.
As soon as you give the word.
I see all of us settled.
Our new Quen friend, the moment she laid eyes on the archives,
Yeah, that's all before... Once Gaia is back up and running,
The seeds have been planted. What? I thought that was pretty...
I'm glad you and Zoe found it.
Don't forget.
Now that I have Omega clearance, we can grab Hephaestus.
Can't wait to see their faces.
Better them than us, for one. I should go get this to Gaia.
Of course.
Welcome back.
Good to be back.
I could barely keep... Varl gave her a new focus, though when he told her she turned so... We showed her to the archive room. She hasn't left the...
Sounds like all of them. Read anything interesting lately?
I found out the old ones use leaf infusions. Apparently it helped soothe that and some sort of cleanse their aura. Plus something... I think I'll stick to singing to calm the...
How are things with
Slightly quieter. Apparently the old ones wrestled machines as some kind of... called it metal versus meat. A must-see battle between steel and flesh. You'd think we have enough...
I need to get...
Right. That means we'll be going after Hephaestus soon.
Aloy!
Right to work, I see.
There's just so much. I mean, we knew of artificial beings that served the ancestors. Oh, she's amazing! And you, a true, genetically speaking, of course, not like the, late CO. And there's more ancestors out there. Of course, and Eric Visser is with them, which is disturbing. And then there...
Okay. How about we take it one step?
You're right.
I see you've been...
It's been fascinating. What would have taken me, like the database you have... With this, I've been able to establish This could revolutionize how divine... That is whatever part of it the overseer.
You wanted data, you'll...
A diviner has never had. And knowing you, but I was sent here to help you. Maybe it'll help the Quen find the.
You mentioned Eric Visser?
The Zenith? He is known to the Quen, combing through data related to his work, related to knowledge our rulers use to That's why he's one of our But, based on it appears he's even yet another
Well, at least you're piecing together.
If only.
Beta mentioned other Zeniths. Tilda,
I'm afraid whatever legacy they left behind.
I imagine.
It's funny because one of your friends, not that you are the same person at all. I mean, you are, as in, you're both, but even so, you're different.
Yeah. I hope everyone...
Oh, and they share it's refreshing. Back home, diviners can only share...
Sounds restricted.
Yeah, you are not...
Back at the greenhouse, you spoke of...
Diviners are meant to seek out, and many Imperials sponsor them in the hopes they'll find the Empire can put to use, thus gaining but the detrimental to this, like discovering one of our revered ancestors ended the world. That is why diviners, only overseers, it ensures that any heretical...
What happens to diviner?
I never had the...
You said you owed me an explanation for what happened in Thebes. I'm listening.
Right. I'll start at the beginning with the CO. He was an Imperial, the Emperor's nephew, in fact. As such, he sponsored many diviners to search the legacy for anything that might help the tribe, and himself. He took a special interest in anything related to Ted Faro, whom we consider the greatest of the ancestors.
Ted Faro, revered and...
I know better now, of course. Anyway, the diviners discovered that in fact, many of the... So the Emperor's nephew convinced him that an X might solve... If only we could find the right data in this fable. Perhaps we could roll back... The Emperor declared that all the tribe's resources be poor. Dozens of ships were built, scouting... And the Emperor's nephew was named CO, one who wields the legacy for the good of the Empire. The living embodiment of Ted Faro. It may seem strange now, but... For a time, he carried all of our hope. We really believed we had no idea just...
You said the expedition... What happened?
We lost most of... and scores of soldiers. And that was before we even... Once we landed, machines ripped and we struggled to replenish our rations. There were bright spots, to be sure. We found Thebes, but nothing improved the CO's mood. He became more and more obsessed and more convinced that the title of CO... You heard him. Spouting nonsense about Pharaoh's... We knew these weren't the words of a sane man, but he was quick to put any who spoke out in front...
What a great guy.
The Quen are wrong about many things when it comes to the... But what the CO became was stand for. I'm sorry you had...
So, Bohai.
He won't execute, but he's hard. I can't tell you how many times he took credit for day. The best thing I can say about him is that he too...
Yep, so... The ancestors, is that what you're...
Yes and no. The ancestors, those whose legacy taught warfare, leadership, and patronage of the...
The CO called Elizabeth Sobek an assistant. What's that about?
Right. Well, any worked extensively under one of the ancestors is called... That's how we thought of Sobek. Until our limited access to data past the late 2040s has missed...
You mentioned the reason you...
Her name is Alika. When I passed the divination it brought honor to our family. Only Alika begged me...
Why?
Alika knew that once you enter, you're not even your family. Unless you can...
It sounds harsh.
Like the focuses we keep. Fearful that last time I was allowed to see my family was just before our voyage here. Because of my position, I would... But if our crops don't recover...
I promise I'll... I need to get going.
All I need is... The plan Gaia told... It will help.
I hope so.
Then I...
Aloy, well met. We've been briefed on our mission, and are ready whenever you wish to head to Cauldron Gemini.
Were you able to finish the new arm Gaia was helping?
Indeed.
How are you studying?
I wanted to learn more.
And?
I looked up this pharaoh, Gaia, and learned about the plague of machines he unleashed. To think that the ancient world was wiped. There is no glory or honor in...
Not about some... Have you spoken with Alva?
The Quen is peculiar. Her mind is sharp, but it's hard to imagine her so...
Trust me.
I will take your word for it.
You wanted to talk about your arm?
Indeed. It's time to test it. And I want you to be there.
Okay.
Not how. Where. Will you meet me right where the river bends?
Sure, if you want.
You'll see when we get there.
Then I'll let you know when I get close.
You have my thanks, Aloy.
I have to...
Then do not...
Like I said, I'll call you when I'm close to Regala's old outpost near the bulwark.
May the Ten guide your way.
Welcome back.
There we go. All drones are reconnected to the dome now.
Aloy, I know your experience in Thebes was unsettling, but we have a new problem.
Did something go wrong with Beta and the rig? Will we be able to transport you to Gemini?
The rig is complete. The problem is Hephaestus itself. It has accelerated its proliferation throughout the Cauldron network, increasing its power.
But with your sub-functions restored, we can still succeed, right?
Correct. But the net effect is that absorbing Hephaestus will take longer than previously calculated.
How long?
Even with Omega clearance, my current estimate is that the merge will take 35 hours.
And each hour increases the risk of detection by the Zeniths. Two cores. Two overrides. What if the merge were carried out by two clones of Elizabeth Sobek, both armed with Omega clearance? How long then? Half the time?
Hephaestus would be unprepared for the simultaneous labor of two operators, in addition to obvious synergetic efficiencies. Calculating. It would reduce the merge time to approximately 4.5 hours.
Okay. Varl, it looks like we're gonna need Beta at Gemini. Do you think you can convince her?
I don't know, but I'll try.
What about our diversion? Are the pulse generators ready?
Only a final test remains. I am confident that, if fired in proximity to other cauldrons, the pulses will mask our activities at Gemini from the Zeniths.
Good. As long as Aaron can operate one without shooting himself in the face.
Aloy, you better get down here. Beta's in bad shape.
Okay.
Aloy,
I know.
as you wish.
How's all of it?
As soon as she arrived, a particular file, information about a machine assist, I informed her that once I may be able...
I'm sure she'll like that. So our plan to capture Hephaestus...
As you wish. We now know that Hephaestus will not
Which is why I got Ted Fair...
Correct. When we get to Gemini, the second core is for Hephaestus.
And then you'll be able...
Not quite.
How long will...
Because the work will be split between you and Beta.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction.
Correct. The energy surge should mask our activity.
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat. So, what do you think Ted would have done if his life extension
It seems he convinced himself it was his duty to go, given the tribal nature of new humans, and his ability to use Omega clearance on the I imagine he would have convinced one to worship him as their patriarchal deity.
Okay. Yep, glad that didn't happen. Aside from Gaia Prime and Thebes, there was one other underground facility that was sealed before the Pharaoh Plague reached it. Elysium. The place where Zero Dawn staff and their families went to live out their lives. Do you know what happened to—
Elysium was designed to provide life support for 100. My data indicates the facility went offline well before then.
Did the Pharaoh Plague find them?
Unknown. My connection to the facility.
Aside from— there was one other underground facility, Elysium. The place where Zero Dawn staff— Do you know what happened
To
the
Goodbye.
Aloy. I tried, but it's impossible. I don't think anything will convince her to go.
We don't have a choice.
Good luck.
Beta, you have to come with us. It's the only way. It's one mission. The most important one. We need you. Tell me why you won't go. What if they take me back? Alone, in a cell again. A slave. Forever. Laurel and I will be at Gemini too. I'll protect you. As soon as we get Hephaestus, we'll come straight back here. The Zeniths aren't going to find us. You don't have to be afraid. No! You can't protect me. Nothing can protect me from them. I told you from the beginning we'll never beat them. It's hopeless. Beta. Leave me alone! You don't understand! You're right. I don't understand. We have the same genes, the same mind, the same heart. So why can't you find the strength to do what has to be done? Like Elizabeth would. Don't you think I've thought about that? I don't know what piece of Elizabeth I'm missing. I don't know what you have that I don't. I look through all the data from your focus. You were raised as an outcast, shunned, and isolated just like me, so what's the difference? What's my defect? Beta, you don't have a defect. Beta, look, it's not a piece of Elizabeth. The difference is, I had him. Frost. He raised you, trained you, but he was never warm or loving. The day he died, the day he gave you that charm, he was going to abandon you. He wanted me to embrace the tribe. But then he gave his life for mine. He loved me in his own way. And that was enough. What did it feel like? It was like having the strength That was always there. It's still there. Even now I hear him in my head when things get bad. But it looks impossible. Look deeper. And then fight like you can win. You don't have to go on the mission. We'll find another way. I'll go. You said you'd try to protect me. I believe you. But you have to promise me one thing. Yes, of course. If it goes bad, if the Zeniths find us, I don't want to be their slave again. Do you understand? Okay. Promise? I promise. I could use as much time as you can give me to study up on the merge, to make it as efficient as possible. I'll be ready when you are. I swear.
Aloy, whenever you're ready, come speak to me and I'll ask the others to make final preparations for the mission.
So this Hephaestus, he's like, Gaia's own personal blacksmith.
Yeah. A very angry one.
As like my Uncle Laurent. Man didn't smile a day in his life and would box your ears if you messed with his forge.
Hey, I thought I'd check in before leaving.
Are you sure we shouldn't be? Whatever went on between you and Beta. Not that I'm judging. Forge knows all the screws flew loose
I think we'll be fine.
I'm glad to hear.
After we get Hephaestus, we'll be taking the fight to the Zeniths.
It wasn't that bad. Besides, the soldiers, the ones that fought the Pharaoh machines so Gaia could be built, they were fighting a battle that could... I think most of them they still did it. They bought time, hour. As long as I can do that for you, I'll consider myself a success.
Thank you, Erend. I'm glad you're with me.
Okay, enough.
Anybody take you up on that ale you brought yet?
Zoe can't stand... I tried Alva, but I don't think she knows what taking... And I'm not putting Varl anywhere near that stuff.
What about Katala?
Now there's a man that can... Pretty sure we downed half a keg.
I should go.
Same here.
Aloy, it sounded like...
We just...
Does this mean she's...
It does. I hope you're...
That's what all this was...
Hephaestus won't...
Hephaestus is just a program that's lost it. I can always call upon the...
Funny. Any last findings you want to
Not really. Though I've reached a decision.
Oh?
When we put Gaia together, I want to return to the Nora.
You think they'll listen to you?
In time,
If anyone can make it happen, what will you and Zoe do? If you...
I hope she'll come with me. At least for a while. And I'll go with her to Plainsong too. She'll probably want to talk to her people about... We'll figure it out.
I know you will. How does everyone...
Anxious. I heard Katalo ask for Alva's help with his pulp, and I know he's been helping her with a few fighting techniques, just in case.
I hope they aren't needed.
Like I said,
I hope firing off those pulse...
it'll work.
Always optimistic.
Nah, just stubborn.
Yeah, right. You were right, you know. I guess part of me thought he was holding me back. Because he wanted me to be a Nora. But the truth is, he gave me a lot.
He was a good man.
I'm glad you're coming with...
Sure there's no urge?
No more running. Hey.
I've already got the location of my...
Good.
I heard you in Beta.
News travels fast.
It wasn't exactly...
There were just things that...
A healthy crop to those who clear the weeds between them.
You look like you have something on your mind.
We're going to war, and war is something I promised myself I'd left behind in the Red Raids. But... every voice I hear, every word I read from our ancient past, it makes me realize just how much life was given so that ours could flourish. Fighting for that gift, if we fail...
Helps to know you're not alone.
For a moment there.
I don't know what you're... I should...
As soon as you intend to leave...
You'll hear. I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. I was just studying the pulse generator schematics. The ones Gaia and Beta built. The craftsmanship is
Not anymore.
to understand what... Oh!
Any more
All of it? I'm particularly... We knew the ancestor... In fact, we theorized some of them had settled, but serious... And we thought journeying across the ocean would be the sheer calculations needed for space travel.
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes. Where I grew up, everyone thought that stars were sparks that rose from a fire lit by the... Have you spoken with...
A little. I did hear her singing. Seemed so... and she looked... I felt so...
You should ask So to teach you.
Maybe.
Must be strange to think that some... And here on Earth.
Yeah, it is. Maybe Nikita Aran. The legacy tells us she brought unlimited energy to the old... Or Sung Jiao. It is said she found new ways to extend the ancestors' lifespan. But my curiosity fades when I think of our view of... Perhaps it...
If you need it...
You have... Gaia's explained your plan indeed. I've even received some very... You know...
What kind of...
He... told me to run.
For now. You mentioned there was...
Yes! I found references to an old world system back in the Great Delta. It's called Leviathan. My people discovered it decades ago. A sprawling network of river gates and a labyrinth of... The legacy revealed that the old one, but the data from the greenhouse mentions the research facility where... It's in San Francisco.
Another pharaoh?
No. Leviathan was a project by Eileen Sasaki, another ancestor. So, if we can acquire that data, we might be able to fix this. Every year, my sister gets terrified with Leviathan.
Okay.
That's the thing. But one of our diviners has been exploring the ruins. Would you come with me? You're much better at fighting.
Of course.
Thank you.
I should go. Make sure you talk to Gaia.
May your path...
And, like I said,
I appreciate it.
Aloy.
Had a bit of an issue.
Ah.
Really?
I once knew a warrior who discovered he had a brother late in life. It was deeply uncomfortable.
Did he...
In time. But not before the two siblings nearly...
Ah. Think you're ready to put all your...
I am Tenakth.
You nervous?
If I live, it will be in victory. What matters most is that you achieve your objective.
I'll do my best. I should go.
I await your orders.
Hello again, Aloy. Hello, Aloy.
So, I guess you heard all that below? With Beta?
Yes. I am continuing, despite the unpleasant. I am pleased to see.
Well,
Yes. Are you ready to depart, or we can continue?
So, she's been through so much.
You have both different in all. I like to think of you as
3, then. When I set out to find, I never thought we'd be here.
they have all come along. Varl has suggested that one day we might extend this model to once the biosphere.
Yeah, that's... So what will happen to this place?
All systems within this facility will continue to, as Minerva will no longer be masked, the facility will be exposed to, though without my presence.
Let's hope so. Gaia?
Her presence is interwoven with my memory. We exchanged. It was listening to her.
Your friend.
Yes, though I am.
She was okay. Thanks, Gaia. Okay, people. It's time to head out.
I'll get everyone together.
Connections in place. Booting up.
Beta, Aloy. I am fully installed on this core and ready to connect to the Cauldron network.
It's good to hear your voice. Errand, everyone. Fire your pulses and sound off.
I'm at my cauldron. This thingy, it's blinking. Did I do it right?
In position at my cauldron. My pulse generator is blinking also.
That means they're working. I'm in position, and mine is too.
Mine as well.
Okay. Radio silence until I give the all clear. Signing off. Gaia, let's cage the beast.
Connecting to the Cauldron network now.
Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime, activating Omega clearance. Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime, activating Omega clearance.
Clearance confirmed. Initiating containment sequence.
Critical threat detected. Imperative escape.
It's working. It's got nowhere to go.
Capture imminent. Initiating contingency 13F.
Wait, what's that?
Malware detected. Attempting to compensate.
Containment.
It's cracked.
Look!
Facility activated. Engaging autonomous defenses. Directive. Neutralize.
That means machines are on their way. Get ready.
Here they come!
Vor'll stay here. Protect Beta.
Got it.
Be careful.
Stay back! Over here, you! Aloy! Need a hand over here!
Vor'll! Hold on!
Draw it away from Beta! Please! I need help! Stay back!
You're wounded.
I'm with you, Aloy! Aloy, do you get back?
Get somewhere safe, Aloy.
Over here, you! Like they were struck by lightning! Good! Now hit it again! Aloy, get a hand over here! Let's wipe them out!
That's all of them for now. You two okay?
Still breathing.
Aloy, Hephaestus can't escape, but it must have fled. Deeper into the facility. I'll drive it back here. I'll get the cracked core fixed in the meantime. Keep her safe. Chase after Hephaestus. Force it out of wherever it's hiding. Make it retreat to the core. No, you don't, Hephaestus! I'll find another way over. In.
Aloy, I'm patched into your focus feed. You should know there is a huge power draw coming from the next chamber.
Thanks for the heads up. I'm almost there. It's some kind of production chamber. Festus is up to something, all right?
What kind of machine is it trying to build?
I don't know, but I'm gonna shut it down. I bet those metal carriers will lead me to where it's getting materials from.
I bet that's where Festus is hiding too.
there are a couple of ways I could go.
Materials.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
Aloy, I've managed to rewire most of the components in the core, but the energy processor's cracked. Without a way to fabricate another, there should be a normal cable near the central platform.
Thanks. I should deal with these machines first.
For me.
Oh, great. More machines on the way.
Beta! Hephaestus has locked me out of the node. Any ideas? I'll see what I can do. Whoa!
But I am on just extra weight.
brought Hephaestus control of the node. You should be able to override it now.
Nice. Thanks.
It sounds like it fled to another chamber.
Well, it better not get comfortable.
Energy containment failed. Safe zone.
Great. Hephaestus covered the floor with lightning. I gotta find a way over it.
Aloy! More machines keep coming! Please tell me you're getting close!
I'm working on it. I've been smashing through a lot of machines on my side, too.
I guess Aaron's missing out!
Anyway, I'm making progress on the bypass, but I need something to hold the cycling module together.
Maybe a ligament from one of the machine carcasses?
Right. Or some luminous braiding.
And you could reinforce it with a conversion cylinder.
For increased connectivity. I think we can do this, Aloy.
Should be able to catch a ride on one of those metal carriers. go again?
That doesn't sound good. I'll try to get your access back.
My focus is jammed.
Node access restored. Now you can override it.
Good work.
You did the heavy lifting.
Construction Bay 1.
Okay. This is running out of places to hide.
Aloy? I just registered a huge energy surge back in the production chamber. Something big is happening.
Here too. Everything's glowing.
Machine Hephaestus was building. It must have finished it.
It's powerful. Whatever it is. I'm almost done with the core repairs. Should we come to you? Maybe I could distract the machine if...
No, Beta. Just stay where you are, okay? Handling the machine is my job.
Okay. Be safe.
Deploying priority unit S Mark 1.
I should scan it first. Those things on its legs are glowing. I think it's charging up. Good. Stand by. I'm sending Hephaestus back to you. No more hiding, Hephaestus!
Retreating to facility core.
Got it! Hephaestus is back in the core!
Make sure it stays there. I'm heading back.
And then we can start the merge.
Because of you, Beta. I'm glad you came along. And you, Paul. We couldn't have done any of this without you.
Right back at you, Aloy.
Aloy, the bypass is done. The core is stable. Hephaestus is 100% contained. And we better get started with the merge. It's all set up. Gaia, establish the link, please.
Done.
To complete the merge, we need to excise Hephaestus' malicious code. Carefully.
Redundant copy. You cost us quite a lot of time. Eric, get Beta. And squash that bug while you're at it.
Get behind me.
Come on! Quit screwing around.
Yeah, we're having fun, right?
Finally. Tilda, get Gaia and Hephaestus ready for transport. Tilda!
I failed.
Hush. All is not lost.
Tilda! What the hell are you doing? Stop her! I can't even see her!
Beta. Farrell. Where am I?
Ah, you're awake. You took quite a hit when Gerard attacked you. I imagine you must still be in a great deal of pain. I can assure you that we are safe. The others can't detect us here.
You mean the other Zeniths? You must be Tilda.
I wasn't sure if Beta would have told you about me.
Where is she?
Alive. And while she isn't where she wants to be, not in urgent danger. We must discuss how to get her back, of course, after you've shaken off the cobwebs. When you're ready, take the stairs down the hall and come see me. In the meantime, I'll make breakfast.
Breakfast. Okay. Why did Tilda bring me here? What is this?
Just a few favorites from my collection. Rescued and stored here just before I went off-world. Take a look, if you like. I'm curious to hear your impressions.
My friend is dead. Beta and Gaia are gone, and you want me to look at old paintings?
Don't be so quick to dismiss the comfort we can find in art, or the insight we might gain. Selene and Endymion. She's the goddess of the moon, whereas he's a simple shepherd. Beside her is the god of love, Cupid.
So she's sneaking up on him?
More like visiting him in secret. The torch that Cupid bears represents Selene's undying infatuation with him. Though the two must remain apart, her love will forever burn. My favorite pairing on the left is Woman Reading a Letter by Vermeer, a true master. And on the right is a forgery, Woman Reading Music, which fooled experts into believing it was a priceless original. Early in my career, I became fascinated with such deceptions. Eventually, I developed scanning software that could detect fakes with unparalleled accuracy.
Is that how you made enough money to buy your way onto the Odyssey?
Oh no. I made my real fortune later. This is Rembrandt painting Jeremiah, a man in mourning.
Mourning what?
His home. The ancient city of Jerusalem. He foresaw its impending doom, but could do nothing to prevent it. So instead, he saved its treasures from destruction, just as I saved these works. You could say we're kindred spirits. A portrait of the painter, Rembrandt's son Titus. depicted in the habit of a monk.
I don't get it. Why would someone like you, with infinite resources, care about this painting of a boy in a hood?
It's not the image itself, but the feeling it conveys. The face is bright and defined, but his eyes are downcast, heavy with misfortune. And the background seems to swallow all light. The painting is infused with a sense of loss.
I guess I understand how the painter feels.
Rembrandt's The Night Watch, by far the most famous painting my homeland ever produced. It was commissioned to honor a militia made up of influential citizens.
I guess you must have been an influential citizen.
In my day. But not as influential as you've been in this new world. The Gust, by Willem van de Velde, the most famous of his many maritime paintings.
A ship crossing into the unknown. I guess you're familiar with that.
Indeed, which is why I appreciate this composition in particular. Though waves and wind threaten to destroy the ship, it perseveres, clinging to the light even as darkness closes in all around it.
A lot of weight on his shoulders.
Stunning, isn't it? Paintings were the only masterpieces of my people's golden age. This is Van Vianen's Lidded Ewer, molded from a single sheet of silver.
What was it for?
How like Elizabeth you are. Function over form. Its practical purpose was less important than its meaning. Van Vianen created it in honor of his late brother, who himself was a famous silversmith.
A memorial.
Yes. Such beauty from sorrow.
She's pulling out her own hair. Out of madness, out of grief.
Done so soon?
I've got more important things to worry about.
We both do. There is much we are trying to save. Not the least of which is in that vault. There's nothing wrong with savoring such treasures for a moment more. Or come upstairs and we'll get down to business. Your choice.
There you are. Feeling better?
How did you find us? At the cauldron? And what did you do to everyone right before I passed out?
All business, I see. Well, suffice it to say we were keeping a very close eye on Hephaestus, knowing we would need it at some point. Your ruse didn't fool us, and as for my little trick, it was an overload of the senses, accompanied by an energy discharge. Gerard and Eric were only momentarily disoriented due to their shields, but it rendered you unconscious while I got you out. Perhaps some breakfast might steady you a bit?
This was your house. The one you recreated for Beta, in the data channel you shared.
How perceptive of you. Please, this way.
After everything your people have done, you think I'm just gonna sit down and have a chat with you?
They're not my people. They never were, and especially not now.
You shot off into space with them, and lived with them for 1,000 years before coming back. So what made you suddenly turn on them?
Quite simply, this.
My old focus. You repaired it? But that means you've seen
incredible things. What you've accomplished in 2 decades of life. A 1,000 years at my back and I haven't even come close. I'm sorry if I invaded your privacy, but I had to. In order to understand. To be enlightened. You truly are Elizabeth's blood. With her drive, her sense of mission, her integrity. Watching all this shamed me for the company that I've kept. Having seen it, all I want is to help you.
Even if it means stopping your friends?
Especially so. Please, sit down. There. That's better. Now, we must recover Beta and Gaia at all costs. By now, you must know that Gerard intends to use Gaia to reboot the Earth's biosphere. Remaking this world to specifications that would only suit us immortals. This process will kill every living thing on the planet. He calls it a clean install.
Not if I stop him first.
Not if we do. And once he and the others are gone, we can work together to fulfill Elizabeth's dream. I'm sure Beta told you that there's a build of the Apollo database on board our ship. A complete collection of human knowledge. With that and Gaia, we could do everything Elizabeth wanted. Heal the biosphere, educate the people of this world, uplift them. Create the world she imagined.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. From what I've seen, your friends are invincible.
I do wish you would stop calling them my friends. And they're not invincible. In fact, a friend of yours has found a way to defeat them.
Silence.
Oh, he's been a busy bee, building an army powerful enough to crash through Gerard's precious base.
Yeah. Regala and her rebels.
Even now she's preparing a final march on the Tenakth capital. When she wins, she'll have the entire tribe under her control. Hundreds of warriors and machines to throw at the base. She's been duped. They'll all perish, of course. But it should be enough to break Gerard's defenses and allow Silence to kill him. Along with all the others.
Using the new weapon he's developed.
Yes, he's found a way to circumvent our shields. Truly an exceptional man. He's planned for everything. except you and me. You see, while his army is battering down Gerard's doors, you and I will sneak in through a back way, one that only I know about, while Silence and my friends are busy battling each other. We'll take back Beta and Gaia. I told you I want to help you. I mean it.
My old focus.
When we encountered you at the Hades Proving Lab, Gerard saw you as a redundancy. I knew better. You were a revelation. After your dramatic, Gerard and Eric assumed you were dead and gave her. When the others were busy, I returned to the lab. That's when I found this. Not easy to repair, but certainly old. You were like a splash of color on a worn canvas.
Did you show it to...
Of course not. It was your action. It's worth noting that if I wouldn't have known to save you at the cauldron.
So I should be grateful.
If you like.
You said Beta is not an urgent date.
Putting her to work. A difficult, time-consuming task, as I'm sure you know. They will compel her if need be. She's the only one who could.
Because you people made her to be nothing.
Gerard's idea, not mine. They always viewed me with suspicion when... That's why I created the data channel.
Beta told me your colony was destroyed, that you came back to Earth because you...
It's true. After we reached our destination, we spent decades building the physical constraints of Earth, the boundaries of mortality gone. To think of what we could have done with. It might have been a utopia. Instead, we stagnated, absorbed in effortless comforts and virtual realities. It took a cataclysm to finally yank out of our stupor.
What happened?
A massive geological event. We knew of instabilities in the planet core, but we underestimated. By the time the collapse was, only a few of us made it to the ship. We set course for Earth, the only left to us.
Which you decided to for anyone else.
Not me. He believes it's better to wipe the canvas clean than work around the more primitive tribes. No more only a blank pleases. But we will stop him.
What exactly is your plan to sneak?
We will make use of a lesson I learned from an early age. Always know your exits. In this case, a place where Gerard's new construction meets the ancient foundation. A passage that only... When Silence flings his army at the base, we will enter through this back door, bypassing most of the fighting. The distraction will provide...
Once we're inside the base...
Here, in the command center. By then, Gaia will have been reunited with all of its subordinate functions, including Hephaestus.
What about the alpha build of Apollo on your ship?
A simple matter of recovery, once the others have been... With that in hand, we'll have every...
How do you know about...
He isn't the only one adept at spyware.
You hacked his focus?
No, he's too careful. But his subordinates? He gave additional focuses to the tribals he branded the Sons of Prometheus.
The ones working with Regala.
By tapping their focuses, I learned about most of the distribution of override technology and the secret pact with Regala to attack Gerard's.
But how did he come up with a weapon that can...
That's the one thing I haven't been able to figure out, but however he did with it in the Tenakth army, such a shame.
Regala's only interested in killing Hikaru and waging war on the Karja. What does she have to gain by attacking...
It's the price she must pay without the ability to override her little rebellion.
So she trades with the Sons of Prometheus.
In exchange for an assault on the base. Pride has deluded her into thinking she can... And all without ever knowing who the Sons of Prometheus... Yet for all of Silence's brilliance, that blind spot is what will allow us...
While hundreds of Tenakth are cut down outside. So you knew...
Liz was everything she was. Your ingenuity, you've managed to distill her greatest qualities and make...
I'm not asking about me.
The honest answer is that I don't actually know. For all the time that I spent with her, it was like...
So when you met Elizabeth, she was...
Not aloof. Not exactly. It was a summit in Paris about because regulatory authorities were just starting. Liz gave the keynote address. She had already achieved great renown for her work but in her address, she was just starting an AI-driven system that would actually take responsibility for its...
To care about life.
Revolutionary stuff. I watched her after she had spoken with such moral authority. I could tell she felt it was as if giving the... I didn't want to be a pest, so I...
So how did you find...
I picked the right moment. Right as she came back to the conference, her coffee. She was fresh, rested. It was like she had braced her colleagues. I asked if I could walk with her, then put forth a question about her talk was intelligent. Her answer made me realize it, but she was very welcoming. Previously, it was only halfway through the conversation that I realized exactly who I was. My business was trafficking in secrets and anonymity. So that was Liz. Perpetual. I came to view our meeting as a metaphor for our friendship. She always seemed to... I knew her.
I guess I know the... So you know all about me.
What would you like?
Well?
When I was 8, thousands drowned, my parents included. My guardian, among my peers, I was this... all because of
Oh.
Aren't we? You were an outcast. Neither did I. I climbed my way out of first from the technical, profitable but as it turned out, the software I developed was even... From there, it was...
You were a spy?
More like a service one could turn... I had to remain anonymous to protect my privacy. But despite that anonymity...
What happened when Far Zenith...
They painted an irresistible one where we explored the furthest reaches of the star. It was only late. They only intended to bequeath this future. By the time Faro's machines were devoured. So I accepted Far Zenith's invitation to a berth on the Odyssey. I wanted Liz to come, but she had nobler plans, as you well know.
So you didn't know the other Zeniths were monsters until it was too late?
I knew some of them were. It wasn't until we were off. I was grateful, but the others became obsessed with... They built a colony where machines, or fantasy, could be endlessly savored in virtual. It wasn't life. As the decades passed, I was alone yet again, but this time with eons to consider my mistakes. Now finally, having met you...
To do what?
Help you to fulfill Liz's dream, which isn't so different from Far Zenith's original vision. A better future for...
So this channel you shared with Beta...
Gerard believes he's the most cunning. Even after 1,000 years, he still can't imagine... The channel allowed me to interact with Beta. It offered us a chance.
Until you cut off all...
Yes. Though it...
She felt like you took side.
I was afraid the others would find out and punish her. She may not have had the comforts of friend, but at least I know it seemed, but you must believe.
Why did you make the data channel look like this place?
I built this house as a shelter to weather any storm. A safe place. Not just for me, but for the art stored below. Cultural artifacts of incalculable, truly some of the greatest achievement.
And you wanted Beta to...
Yes. Her upbringing, I thought if she could experience, it would bring a heritage, every bit as valuable. Data being drummed. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but she needed its shelter.
First Faro. Now Hikaru and the Tenakth. Your plan would wipe out an entire tribe. There has to be another way.
We are in an admittedly desperate situation, but I assure you there isn't. Remember Zero Dawn. Elizabeth's sacrifice. Sometimes many have to die for a new world to grow.
If it looks impossible, look deeper. Wait. The data channel. It still exists, doesn't it? I need you to open it. Let me talk to Beta.
Impossible. We might be detected.
It's worth the risk. There is another way, one where the Tenakth survive.
But we won't. If the others...
If you want to help, open it. What are they doing to her?
Virtual reality dissociation. The manual merge of Hephaestus will take hours upon hours of tedious micromanagement. If she resists the work, they run simulations to induce feelings of isolation and despair.
Beta, can you hear me?
You're alive. They're watching me. I can't hold up this extra projection for long. You should have killed me.
No. No, look at me. I'm coming for you. I promise. Okay? I just need you to hold out a little while longer and work on the merge.
Then I think it can be done.
I'll contact again when it's time. Can you hold on?
As long as I know you're coming for me, I can endure anything.
All right. I did as you asked. Now I think you need to tell me what you're planning.
I'm going to take Sylens' army away. I don't need it. Only the weapon he made to penetrate your shields.
And how do you propose to get it? Ask him nicely?
Without Regala and her rebels, he won't have a choice. We'll be his only option.
Only option for what? What did you tell her?
That is between me and my sister. Will be Sylens' only option for crashing that base. I'll tell you the rest later. But first, there are a couple of things I have to do.
Oh. And what are those?
Lay my friend to rest. And then I'm going to use the override that Beta gave me at Gemini to put an end to Regala's rebellion. From the air.
Wait. Since you insist on doing things your way, I know of something that will truly help you make a grand entrance with the Tenakth. The ancient Horus Titans still possess electromagnetic energy cells as part of their arsenal. Drop one of those on Regala's army and they'll receive quite a surprise. So go, do what you must. I'll come to your base if you manage to bring Sylens to the table.
Not if. When. Erend, are you there?
Aloy! Aloy, is that really you?
Yeah, it's me. Where's everyone else?
We're all... we're back at base. What happened?
It might be easier to explain in person. I'll try to join you there when I can.
Okay. We'll wait here for you. It's good to hear your voice, Aloy.
son. I was annoyingly impatient at your age, too.
Everything okay? What are you doing out here?
Ask my grandmother. I risked leaving guard duty to look for her. She stopped to see the bloom, and now she won't leave. Since when does she care about flowers?
They're not just flowers, child. They're scarlet stems with a scent that soothes the nerves. Or so I was told many years ago, by an Utaru seed tracker.
An Utaru? Now you're telling stories. If one trespassed here back then, you'd have killed him on sight.
I couldn't. Found him picking flowers, right near here, in Tanakh territory. I was all set to strike him down, but he was singing.
Singing?
Can't remember the tune now. Just the lilt of his voice. And his name. Nilo. He decided to stay for a day or two. I took guard duty here so I could keep coming back to him. And he kept delaying his return to Plainsong. For the flowers, he said.
Please don't tell me I'm descended from an Utaru gardener.
Almost. Almost. But the thrill of battle called to me, and he had to return to his people. I've always wondered about the life I missed with him. Whether he misses it too. Would he welcome me in Plainsong? Or at least accept a scarlet stem?
It's a long way to Plainsong, but I get back there now and then. I could pick some scarlet stems and bring them to Nilo, if I can find him.
Please. He was an herbalist there. I know the time has long since passed, but I'd like to know. Well, I'd like him to know. You know what I mean.
I think I do.
Encouraging an old woman? Why would you do that?
Why wouldn't I?
Just to let you know, I'm now patched into your focus network.
Great. I take it the other Zeniths can't hear us?
Of course not. And they don't know about your base either, in case you were wondering. I've sent you data on the Horus energy cells you can use against Regala's forces. Reach out to me when you're ready to acquire one.
Understood.
Think she'll find that Nilo guy?
I thought you didn't care.
I don't. Not really.
I should look for the herbalist. Might still be Nilo. I could give him the scarlet stems.
If you want to improve your next hunt, let's trade.
Outlander, what can I do for you?
You're the herbalist here, right? Are you Nilo?
No, Nilo was before my time. I think he went up north a while back to Riverham. Why? Do you need a special solve?
No, but someone else does, in a way. Thanks. I'll try Riverham.
There's a grove there, a memorial, a beautiful greenery. If he's there, I bet he'll be tending it.
Thanks again.
Glad I could help. I hope you find what you...
Okay, Riverham. I should look for Nilo. Give him the scarlet stems. The herbalist in Plainsong said he might be near the Memorial Grove. Nilo. Did she say Nilo?
Aloy. I can't believe it. I came back ready for a fight and instead found that you had already ended one.
I wasn't alone. Your people are lucky to have Keel leading them.
Stubborn as weeds, that one. I'm just glad we're all back in Riverham. For good, this time. May the land always bloom in your steps, Aloy.
May your seeds take blessed root.
The first bloom of the winter song. I can feel the heaviness of my years fade away just by looking at them.
They're beautiful.
It was good to see the young ones fight for this place. I'll be damned if those sprouts didn't hold their own, strong as the roots of a proud tree. Just don't tell them I said that.
Your secret's safe.
Now, I better make sure our newly victorious warriors don't injure themselves while celebrating.
Hi there.
Nora, here. You're a long way from home.
I suppose I am. I'm looking for an herbalist named Nilo. I think I heard you say his name.
You've come to the right place. His seeds were buried here, where he tended the blooms of others, including my mother's. I'm his daughter, Gia.
How long has he been gone?
Some 5 years now. He put a lot of love into this grove. Almost as much as he gave me. That's why I could never abandon Riverham.
I'd like to leave some flowers, if I may. From an old friend of his.
Scarlet stems. They're rare in these parts, but they were his favorite. I never knew why. He planted them whenever he could, but never picked them. Preferred to just watch them bloom.
Sounds about right. So he was a good man who led a full life?
He was. And he did. I don't know who this old friend is, but if my father liked them, they must be a good soul.
Look, the Outlander's back.
I can still see well enough, girl.
Is my long vigil over? You have word from my grandmother's gardener?
Yes and no. I laid the scarlet stems at his grave. His favorite flower, according to his daughter. Always loved to watch them bloom.
He's gone. But he did think of me over the years. That'll have to be enough.
Really? That's it? Are you sure you got the right herbalist?
Huh. Seemed like you thought it was a fool's errand.
Well, it's just that it meant something to you. It could have been a whole other life.
Could have been. But this life hasn't turned out so bad. I even have a granddaughter who cares enough to come looking for me out in the wilds. And I've still got scarlet stems to remind me of Nilo.
Sounds like your grandmother's got it all figured out.
Maybe she does. Just tell me the next time you want to come out here, okay? Instead of disappearing?
Maybe I will. Here, Outlander. Take this. For helping an old woman to remember she was once young.
When you're wounded, you have to strike back. Draw blood.
Hey! Can't I get one damn minute to mourn my friend?
Regala is going to slaughter my tribe to overthrow Hikaru. The Zeniths have Beta and Gaia. We can't sit around wallowing in our losses.
Kotallo's right. We must fight.
Oh, all right. So what are we gonna do, huh? Take on all of Regala's rebels?
Not to mention the Zeniths. What can we even do? Throw ourselves at their base?
Something like that. So...
After we lost contact with you, we regrouped and went to Gemini. What happened? The recording we found on Varl's focus cut off when that Zenith, Eric...
The Zeniths were tracking Hephaestus. When Gaia trapped it in Gemini, they knew where we were. After Varl tried to stop them, they took Beta and Gaia. I only survived because one of the Zeniths turned against the others to save me.
One of them? Well... at least we didn't lose you too. So what do we do now?
We're going to defeat the Zeniths. And get Beta and Gaia back. But first, we're going to stop Regala.
How?
Back in Gemini, Beta gave me a gift. There's something I need to do first to make it work, but it could put an end to the bloodshed.
Word is, Regala's readying her army for an all-out assault on the Grove. I need to be there.
I know. Go. Stand with Ikaro. And keep an eye on the sky.
Strike true as the 10.
The rest of you, whatever preparations you need to make, upgrades, resupplies, get on it. It won't be long before we take the fight to the Zeniths.
We'll be ready, Aloy. And when you're ready, meet me outside the east exit. I'd like to have a word in private.
Even when things are darkest, you're the flame that lights the way forward.
Just tell me one thing. Am I gonna get to smash up a bunch of Zenith bastards?
We all are.
Good.
Before I do anything else, I should check on Zoe. It sounded important.
I thought you were gonna...
I wanted to
Yeah, don't worry about me. They'll be there when you...
I never doubted.
Oh, I'm glad you're...
So am I. I know you hate waiting, but...
Well, you go do it. Are you okay? I almost lost it when I realized my sister had been taken...
I'm getting her back.
Understood.
Do you think...
I don't think anyone's ever okay after losing them. I can't tell you she's handling it better than I ever did. That keeps the rest of us...
I need to get going.
You better get there before Katalo tries to take... do me a favor.
I'll do my best. You look busy.
My studies are a good distract, Varl. And that's just the beginning.
We won't let that happen. Tilda, the Zenith that Beta mentioned...
Did she...
She knew Elizabeth Sobek. She was willing to share information on both Silence's plans and the other...
But you where I come from, the more valuable the... I'd be careful if I were you.
What was...
A flood control system that... It was built by Eileen Sasaki. If we can acquire the data, then my sister won't have to...
Right. So, all of the tribes here are new to you?
Yes. The most fascinating one. An entire culture based on the holograms of an ancient museum. There's much they've misinterpreted. But still, there's a nobility.
And deadly. How are you holding up?
Varl's loss is heavy on... I didn't know him well, but Zoe and Aaron seem... But...
They need time.
And what about you?
I don't know. I try not to... Seems like everyone's ready to take the fight to...
Katalo more than most. If I were this Regala, I wouldn't want to...
Regala still has a lot of...
That's where he...
If my plan works. I should get going. Be ready to go on my signal, okay?
I won't let you down.
I know. And I haven't forgotten about the data on Leviathan. I'll let you know when I make it back to landfall.
Thank you, Aloy.
My fingers feel stiff in this cold.
Over here, Aloy. We would come out here to tend to the garden. Sometimes I needed fresh air. Other times we would simply sit and watch the sunrise. So when we returned from Gemini, it seemed fitting that he be laid to rest here. Now he can always look out at Plain Song and further east to the Nora Sacred Lands.
He would have liked that.
He often spoke of his sister, Vala. He said she used to gather her favorite golden blooms and tie them to her spear. Their mother called it useless, but Vala was stubborn.
Yeah, she seemed like that.
It wasn't easy. But I tracked down the flower. Gathered its seeds. As verdant limbs wither, roots rot in snow, still the sea rises as certain as stone. From death follows new life. So it is with the land. And so it is with us. I'm with child, Aloy. I was going to tell him when he got back from Gemini. Instead, one day, I'll bring our child here. We'll sit among the blooms and watch the sunrise.
I never got to tell him. To thank him. For saving my life, sure, but also for not giving up on me.
He always knew.
Goodbye, Varl. I promise to look after them. I'll try to visit again when I can. But for now, I need to go to the fabrication terminal to install the new override on my spear. Then I'll use it on a sunwing and get ready for an entrance Regala will never forget.
Before I forget, I watered those plants for you.
Oh?
I just know they meant a lot to you, and, well...
Thank you, Aaron.
Think you can manage things here?
Stopping Regala's war.
Yes.
Then I'll make sure the rest of us are ready upon...
Okay. I know we both want to make the Zenith, but once we infiltrate their base...
Don't worry. I won't... Wherever your arrows strike...
Let's hope we hit our target. We'll be facing Spectre drones soon. Aaron and Katala...
Already asked them to run us through some combat drills. Aaron moves like an oaf.
How's Aaron doing?
For a moment there, he thought he'd lost, but he never truly succumbed to despair. Guess that Oseram's...
I need to get going.
Whatever you plan...
I'll try.
Didn't think you'd...
Tilda's the one who rescued me.
Did she say...
She knew Elizabeth Sobek. She was willing.
But where I'd be...
Right.
He's just gonna be standing there.
Override installed. Now to find a sunwing. I think there are some roosting at the top of the mountain. Okay, I need to find a sunwing to override. Better head up the mountain. Good. There are sunwings up here. I'll have to approach them quietly. I wonder if there's another cauldron with override data on that one. Whoa! Head rush. Tilda, I'm in the air.
Then you'll want to pick up an energy cell on one of the ancient Horus Titans. But first you must send out a pulse to activate them. I've sent you the necessary software. To deploy it, you'll have to override one of the communication machines you refer to as Tallnecks. There's one in the middle of the desert that should do nicely.
On it.
Champion!
There's a Tallneck. Need to get on top of its head. how to land this thing. Made it. Okay, Tilda. I've overridden the tall neck.
Good. And the energy cells are now primed. Simply pick one up on a Horus. The nearest one should be northwest of your position. Dropping it on Regala's machine should produce quite a spectacle.
Thanks for the assist.
I told you, I want to help.
Whoa! I'm gonna have to get used to that. There's the energy cell. Right on the Titan's back. Got the sill. Now on to the grove. The pulse from the tall neck should have reactivated all the energy cells in the region. I should be able to pick up more from any Horus I'll fly to. Pretty useful, even after I deal with Regala. Go.
Regala's inside. Kara will soon be dead. It's all over, Chaplain.
I gotta drop it now. Here it goes.
It's Aloy! She flies on the wings of the Ten. The tide has turned! Push through!
End of the line, Hakari. Now on your knees, and I'll give you the death you didn't have the spine to give me.
They're down! The machines! All of them! They're down!
What? How's that possible?
Regala!
Enough bloodshed! Let's settle this. You and me.
Easy to say when you're atop a machine.
Well, that was just to get your attention. I don't need any help to take you down.
Fine. I accept your challenge. And once I'm done with you, I'll get to finish the slaughter.
We'll see about that.
The duel is set. Let none interfere.
This fight is just beginning!
So that's how it's gonna be.
That is left of your story! Lenora! Cry tears of salt when they should shed rivers of blood! This is where it ends!
Yeah, it is.
I will rise above! This is no way to fight!
taint this hallowed soil with your blood! Your blade is blunt, your courage rusted, your body weak. Here I am again, on my knees before bullets and cowards. Go ahead, run me through.
Shut your mouth, traitor.
It was you who flew in on the wings of the 10. You who challenged her by our rights. You must decide her fate. I spared her once. It only made things worse. She was the best of my marshals. What a waste.
She's dangerous, all right. But maybe that's exactly what I need.
Cowards! What more do you have to conspire about?
Whether you live or die. I'm not here to forgive you for your crimes. But there's another battle ahead. Against an enemy more powerful than anything you can imagine. And I need people. A squad. That's willing to do whatever it takes.
I don't want your mercy.
It's not mercy. The battle I'm talking about will be charging into a nightmare.
A better death than this? Yes. My blood is yours. Your enemies are mine.
Meet us at our stronghold, in the mountains near Plainsong.
You mean to send her alone? Without even an armed guard?
She does not need it.
I will be there. You have my word.
I'll hold you to it.
Chief, there's something you both need to see. In the throne room. He surrendered to our guards outside the grove. Claims he has an urgent message for the Outlander who defeated Regala.
So, state it.
It's for her alone. From an interested party.
I'm gonna need some privacy.
Clear the room. Put him with the rest of Regala's soldiers.
I'll see you back at base.
You saved the tribe. Let me help you with your mission.
No. With Regala gone, you have a chance to build the future you dreamed of. So get to your task.
Then at least allow me to give you this. Armor for the battle ahead. May it keep you safe.
Do you have any idea what you've just done?
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you too, Silence.
Congratulations on your victory. You saved the Tanakh for a few weeks. Unfortunately, you've doomed the entire planet as well.
Wrong. I don't need a Tanakh army to defeat the Zeniths.
Oh, Aloy. Have you learned nothing about the enemy we're up against?
More than you, hiding whatever hole you found. My idea is just better than anything you ever came up with.
Go on.
No, not here. We're doing this my way. Face to face, and with the weapon you've developed.
And why would I ever do that?
Because I'm your only way of beating the Zeniths, and getting the copy of Apollo that's on their ship. So meet me at my base. Mountains west of Plainsong. Time to submit to the inevitable silence and follow the person who actually knows what she's doing. Don't be late. Tilda, you there? I did it. Silence is on board, so head to my base.
Impressive. I'll be there as soon as I can.
Now that I can fly, I might want to see what else I can do before I head back.